So guys, we're talking about Apex Legends. This is a new Battle Royale game made by Respawn, and I believe it's published by EA. Now, we're going to talk about just about every aspect of this game today. We're going to talk about the legends themselves, or the heroes, the game mechanics, as well as the objective of the game. I know it is a Battle Royale game, but there's also some small stuff in here that they threw in here that makes it stand out from other Battle Royale games that I want to talk about. We're going to talk about weapons, attachments, and gear, consumables, and loot, its monetization, and lastly, team composition and solo play. So first up, let's talk about the legends. You have 8 legends that you can choose from. All of them have a passive ability, an ability that you can activate, as well as an ultimate ability. Now, these abilities range from a bunch of different things, but they kind of try to categorize them into offensive characters, defensive characters, and support characters, which really all play a role in your team composition. And depending on your play style is really what's going to align you with one of these legends. Now, before each match, your squad will choose a legend. You can't all choose the same legend. The order in which you choose, though, is random. Now, a cool feature is right after that, it gives a squad like this overview of kills that your squad has with that legend that they chose. So this gives you kind of an idea of the experience everyone has with that particular legend. Now let's talk about game mechanics as well as objective. So first up, objectively, you want to be the last squad standing. Each match consists of 60 players, 20 squads, and in order to wipe a squad, you'll need to down all 3 of them. Now, a cool system that they included throughout all of this is something called a kill leader. I believe that a kill leader is the person that has the highest number of kills in that particular game, and their name will be broadcasted to everyone on the map. So this puts a target on their head in some way and will notify everyone when they die. A pretty cool feature, and you can actually see like the legend banners all around the map, and I believe they change depending on the kill leader. Now, moving on to another feature that makes it a lot different than other Battle Royale games is the respawn system. So you can revive your teammate even if they get eliminated. So if your teammate gets knocked, you can revive him right there on the spot. But if he dies completely, you pick up his banner and head to a respawn point, which essentially is that green square located on the minimap. Your teammate will then spawn but will have no weapons or armor, as if he just entered the match. I really like this feature though, guys, because it keeps the team engaged. Even a lot of solo players, I have a lot of them still stay and watch the rest of the match in hopes that their banner will be revived. This is much different than what we see from Fortnite and Black Ops, where as soon as people go down, they bounce. And rightfully so, there's no reason for them to even sit there and stay. Moving on, let's talk about the mechanics. Now, as with all Battle Royale games, you have to jump out of a plane or something to get to the map. Apex here is pretty unique in that it elects a jump master before you actually jump. So this person will actually decide where you end up going, as when you jump, all of you are traveling in the same location. Now, of course, you could separate from the group by holding down a key and going off on your own, but obviously this is not a wise choice. And it's also a great way to keep solo players together. Now, as far as individual mechanics, you can slide. This includes sliding down mountains. What's even funnier though is you can actually slide up mountains too. So the slide feature works both ways. You can also grapple edges and pull yourself on top of rooftops. Now, there isn't wall running like there was in Titanfall, but that doesn't mean we can't traverse the map quickly. There's zip lines located everywhere. And just like sliding, you can zip line downwards as well as upwards. And placed around the map are balloon points as well, where you can zip line to the top of them and shoot into the sky. Now, you are a bit exposed with that one, because it kind of takes you a while to get to that balloon. But these are all ways in which you can traverse the map a lot quicker. Now, moving on, let's talk about weapons, attachments, and gear. Weapons are based on their ammo type. You've got weapons that take heavy rounds, weapon that takes light rounds. You've got shotgun ammo for shotguns, and weapons that take energy ammo. All weapons look like normal weapons outside of their skins, but let's talk about those attachments. For attachments, we have stock, scopes, and barrels. But you can also attach these special attachments that increases the lethality of your weapon. So for instance, I found something earlier that said skull piercer rifling. This increased headshot damage for certain compatible weapons. Now for this one, it only worked with the longbow and the wingman. So depending on your playstyle as well as what weapons you have in your hand, some of these attachments can really elevate these guns. And of course, they're color coded as well. Some of them are purple, some of them are gold. But let's talk about gear real quick before we get into rarity of items. In terms of gear, we have a body shield and a helmet that you can pick up. helmets reduces headshot damage, while body shields give you shield on top of your health. Now the helmets go from like white, blue, purple, as well as gold. Each helmet giving you a little more damage reduction, but a really neat feature is the gold helmets. Some of them give like special perks. The only one I've seen so far was something called Fast Charge, which reduces tactical and ultimate recharge time. And as you know, in the heat of a moment, when you've got teams collapsing on you, that can make such a big difference. Now the body shields are also coded by their color, ranging from white, blue, purple, and gold. Now white actually gives you 50 shield, blue gives you 75 shield, and purple gives you 100 shield. I have not run across a gold body shield yet, but I'm assuming that it's probably going to give you 100 shield, as well as some unique perk. Now with all that being said, we need to talk about the damage colors when you're actually shooting your opponents. When you're shooting an opponent and white damage numbers are popping up, you're hitting an opponent that has a white shield on. The same applies if you're shooting an opponent that blue numbers are popping up. You're shooting an opponent that has a blue shield, purple for those that have a purple shield, and gold for those that have a gold shield. Now the crit values or the headshot values are actually yellow, and they're a little bit bigger to show that you did just hit a headshot. Another neat feature though is once you break the shield of your enemies, you'll start to see red values popping up. This means you're now hitting their actual health. This is really good to know when you need to push to get the final kill. Now moving on, let's talk about the loot as well as the consumables. So when you actually kill an opponent, they drop a crate, and that crate will be colored based on the highest level item or the highest rarity item that they have. So it can be a white crate or it can go all the way up to a gold crate. Now the gold could be something like an actual gold helmet or maybe a gold body shield, or it could just be like a gold attachment. I'm actually a big fan of the crate system because sometimes you wouldn't want to push into that base, right? Just for a white crate. But if you see that there's a gold crate in there, it might be worth you pushing in there and grabbing whatever it is that's in that crate. Now, as far as consumables go, you do have basic syringes, which increases your health, I think by 25 a piece. And you also have these shield consumables, which increases your shield by 25. But of course, you come across larger shield consumables as well as larger med kits, allowing you to heal more and get more shield back. And then there's some consumables that allows you to completely refresh both your shield and your health. Now I know we're mainly just talking about loot and consumables, but I forgot to mention that there are grenades present in the game. And there's like a thermite grenade as well as a basic frag grenade, and there's like a ninja star. I've only landed like a ninja star once. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can be picking up, and you want to make sure you get the highest level backpack that you can, as those also range in color from white to purple. I haven't seen a gold backpack yet, but each one holds more items than the next. Now before we get into team composition as well as solo play, and that's when I really want to talk about how I feel about this game, let's talk about the monetization. This game is free to play, but of course it has microtransactions. You have like a feature window, which is like a stock of cosmetic items that refresh every week to 2 weeks. And you can also purchase Apex packs, which really just includes, I think, a variety of things and will reward better cosmetics based on how many packs are purchased. Now, I haven't really looked into the dollar value of whatever these Apex coins are, so I honestly can't even tell you if this is a ripoff or not. Either way it goes, there's a lot of different things that you can get in terms of skins for your weapons, skins for your characters, but they even take a step forward by giving you finishing kill moves and different audio depending on your legend. Which takes us to our review of this game so far. Again, we've only put about 10.5 hours into this game so far. I played a lot of it yesterday right after it was announced. I watched the stream. I noticed everything was based off of squad play instead of solo play, so I wanted to talk about team composition and solo play in this review, as well as what this game brings to the table, how it differs from other Battle Royale games, and whether or not this game is going to survive or dominate the Battle Royale market. So first up, team composition. This is actually a really important aspect. Now, you don't necessarily need to go the route of like DPS, support, and a tank. And really, tanks aren't really tanks. They're just defensive players. They have abilities that allow them to play more defensively. They don't necessarily take more damage to kill or anything like that. And offensive players, a lot of them have the ability to flank easier as well as move quicker throughout battle. And support characters just all around help the team and support them. They just have abilities that do that. Some of them are just like Pathfinder, which sets up vantage points by putting ziplines down. Others actually distribute drop crates as well as health to the team. So the team composition is there though, because there's a lot of times like I was like, wow, I wish I had a lifeline on my team right now. That would make things so much easier in this certain situation. But even the other way around, we're getting hit by artillery strikes one game. It's like, wow, I should have played Gibraltar because a shield dome right now would come in handy. So the team composition is definitely there, and it's going to allow you to really go that extra mile in outplaying your opponents just based off of that. Now let's talk about solo play. As a solo player, is this going to be a game for you? It is tougher. Obviously, for those that purely want to play with no mic and just want to get in there and jam out some kills, this is going to be a harder game for you because a lot of teams yesterday that I was playing with were all using mics. Now I will say the ping system they have here in place is the best system I've ever seen in a BR game. And in some ways, it's actually better than openly communicating. Even if you are openly communicating, you still want to use your ping system as that allows you to directly ping a location or an enemy for all of your teammates to see. But for solo players, I found it really good yesterday because I was able to ping specific items. If I had a player and noticed there in the HUD that he didn't have any shield, I would ping a shield for him on the map that I found. And your legends talk amongst themselves. They will actually talk to each other and let each other know. You'll hear them say shield found or helmet over here found or whatever item it is that you pinged. It's a really cool feature and I am a huge fan of this ping system. Now overall, let's talk about the game itself. I said it yesterday and I know some people get upset about this, but to me this game reminds me so much of both Black Ops, Titanfall of course because a lot of these weapons are based on that, and Overwatch. Now the reason why I mentioned Black Ops is because of course Blackout. I played a lot of Blackout this past fall, so that's kind of what it reminded me of, although the games in terms of its TTK values is a lot different. Now, Overwatch, the comparison I make there is because of the legends themselves. They're all quirky, and their passive, tactical, and ultimate ability does make me think of Overwatch. Now, what this game isn't is some crazy ability simulator. I noticed a lot of people were saying yesterday that they saw the ultimate abilities and thought that gun skill goes right out the roof. No, ultimates definitely help. Tactical abilities definitely help, as well as the passive abilities. But I didn't see any type of cheesy stuff yesterday. It really came down to how well you play with your team and how well you can land your shots. The time to kill of the game is pretty lengthy, given the fact that a lot of people have shields on. So engaging and getting the knockdown on an enemy is really not too hard. It's actually engaging, getting the knockdown, and then swarming the rest of the enemies and finish them off. Overall, I've been enjoying this game, but at the end of the day, it is a battle royale game. And just like my Blackout review, if you don't enjoy BR games, then this game is probably not gonna be for you. Again, that's the foundation here. That's what Respawn is trying to present here to us, because even with all these different weapons, armors, team composition, different legends, at the end of the day, it's still a battle royale game. So guys, that is my thoughts on Apex Legends. I think at some point they're probably gonna add solo play, but in terms of its current condition with its squads of 3, I have enjoyed it. How long will I stay with it? I don't think too terribly long, because again, like I said, it is a BR game, and I normally don't hang with battle royale games for too terribly long, but I've definitely enjoyed it so far. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.